Day one of photo shooting. Yesterday we did prep day, and today starts the actual shooting. So this is our main shooting space, and we'll be spending 3 days here. Today, day one of shooting, we're photographing people in fun little scenes, holding and interacting with the product, and then 2 days will be spent here shooting just product in their own little scenes. The vibe for this campaign is very colorful, vibrant, and fun. We have these roughly 9-foot by 10-foot vinyl backdrops with different patterns on them. We also have some solid color paper rolls as well, and these will be used to photograph people along with the product. We also have some smaller vinyl backgrounds you'll see a little bit later in the video, and we're using those for just shooting product by itself. We'll be swapping all these around throughout the shoot depending on the shot needed. And Brooke and the client spent a few weeks prior selecting the backgrounds, the wardrobe, the props, and the styling direction, deciding what overall vibe they wanted for the shoot. And as you can see from the room, we have a lot of stuff to work with. As for lighting, we have a Profoto D2 for our hard light. We have a second Profoto D2 in a softbox for fill, and a third Profoto D2 in an umbrella for fill. This shoot is so diverse with the types of shots and setups that I'm moving these lights around a ton, along with changing their power ratios a lot, so everything is chaotic when it comes to how the lights are set. All the modifiers do stay the same, however, with the exception of the 7-inch reflector on the hard light. I keep it or remove it depending on how I want the shadows to look. Shadows are harder with it off, and the light spreads a lot more, and shadows are a little bit softer with it on, and the light is stronger in the center. Day one down, everybody. We gotta do it tomorrow. Okay, yesterday was nuts. Today's gonna be a little bit more chill, or lemon chill, if you will. And so we're gonna do these like styled stills on this table here. We're basically gonna set up like kind of product shots today. The most difficult part of any shoot, well, not the most difficult, but one of the difficult parts of any shoot is figuring out where to put the computers and the monitor. So we're shooting here, and it's, do I put the monitor right here so we can see it while we're shooting? The camera is going to be right here where the tripod is. So do I put it up here so we can see it in front of us? Or is that going to be in the way of lighting and whatever? Do I put it, a lot of times I put it kind of back behind here. So like, sometimes the director or whatever will be looking this way, but then sometimes I'll put it back behind here, like here it is now, because we have some couches and stuff. So sometimes they like to sit there. So one of the most difficult things is where to put the tethering computer. Okay, for this light setup, I have an AD200 Pro with the Fresnel head as our hard light. I'm using this because the head is much smaller than the Profotos, so the source will be smaller, causing the light to be a little bit harder. And then on camera left, I have a Profoto D2 with a 3.5 foot by 4.5 foot softbox. This one's single diffused, because I want the light to look a little bit more punchier, and that's our brighter fill light. I have a Profoto D2 on the background with a reflector, and then I have another Profoto D2 with a 5-foot umbrella with a diffuser on it for our opposite of the sun fill light. And then camera is a 5D Mark IV with a 50mm tilt shift lens. Hopefully the background music isn't too loud. I'm talking super close to the mic, so it picks me up only. But most of the day has been doing these styled stills. So we're just setting up these kind of artistic looking shots. You have a bunch of like styling and whatnot in here, and just really creating whatever we want, whatever is fun. And that's pretty much all today has been, which is really kind of rejuvenating to just kind of play around and do something creative and artistic. It's Thursday and we're at day 3 of this shoot. Today we're doing more of these like tabletop scenes. So a lot of what we do is we'll shoot a set and get everything set, get all the lighting stuff, and once we like it, then we got to tear it all down. And what we'll usually do is move into this room here. So then we'll move into this room here, and we have this stage with all sorts of props and ingredients, food items. Because we're shooting as a food product, it's lemon, and the 2 flavors are lemon and strawberry. So we have a lot of lemons, strawberries. We're doing some drink mixes. So we just have all sorts of props and ingredients in this room to like reset, to bring it back out there for the next shot. And if you look, there's tons of props. There's like different styles of plates. There's different styles of cups, trays, about a few cakes. Brooke actually yesterday took the icing off, I think 1 or 2 of these cakes, and made the cake we had yesterday. Sometimes you'll buy something like this, like maybe this white cup here, and then you'll think it's just the best thing for it, and then once you throw it in and you light it, whatever, it just doesn't look right. So having a variety of props and whatnot to play around with can really make or break your image. So right now what we're doing is we're switching to a lemonade setup. So we're just testing out a few different backgrounds. We'll throw them up, we'll take a shot, and then we'll look at our monitor and see if we like what we get and make our choice from there. So here's a couple different options we've done. We've done pink, done peach, and once we figure out our background, then we'll change out all styling and all that stuff in there. So sometimes what I'll do when first starting a shot is put the camera on like just basically standard tethering, where you see the shot on the computer as you fire it, and then I'll just see what the lighting looks like. Right now I have this overhead light as our sunlight. I have this big soft umbrella as our kind of side soft light, sort of fill light from the sun's side, and then this one over here, which is a little bit less lower powered, as our fill light from the opposite of the side of the sun. This one's pointed, this one's kind of shifted way in front so I don't get as much on the background. So now that I have my lighting all set up, we'll usually switch to live view here, and then you can kind of see what's going on in a live view. This sometimes helps our stylist because she can see in real time what's going on the monitor and what things will look like when we take the image. So the stylist will usually kind of play around with live view for a little bit, and then once we get it really close, we'll start taking more actual frames, and then we can see what the lighting looks like for what the final will be, and then we'll just kind of move things around minimally until we get the image exactly where we want it. Now that we have this one shot, we're just going to pull everything back into the kitchen, and we're just going to do it all again. Lemon toast is done. All I have to do is clean everything up and pack everything up, and we're good to go.